Good morning. Good morning. If I could have your attention, that would be fantastic. Really very, very warm welcome this morning. This is a day we've been looking forward to for quite some time as we've been scouring the town for properties that we wanted to use for our church work, and it's a fantastic day today to be in here at the opening of this building. If you were here 24 hours ago, you would be even more amazed at that we're here in this room particularly, and it was a bit of a change in room's feet, I think, to try and get this sorted within the timescales. We've also gathered a lot of the contractors and building workers here today because we want to do the snagging as we go round. Is that okay, chaps? A very warm welcome. My name's Phil Norris. I'm one of the leaders here in the community churches, and it's my job to just lead us through this short time together. As I say, the opening is the culmination of many years searching and much hard work, particularly over the last six months since we only purchased this in March of this year. We begin our time together here in Key House, which is our new building, but the building project includes refurbishing our existing buildings that you'll see later on and creating more capacity for community use amongst them. To arrive at this opening with this community building up and running in such a short period is an amazing feat, and we really do, right at the outset, want to give much thanks to Dave Downer. I don't know where Dave is. Where's Dave Downer? To Dave Downer, he's been our project manager. With many others whom I'll mention later. I think his sleeping bag's been in here, and he's basically lived here for the last little while. But we wouldn't have got here without Dave's help, and I wanted to thank him right at the outset for all the hours that he's put in. We will say some more thank yous later on. Special welcome to Maria Miller, our MP, who's here to open the building for us today, and to the Mayor and Mayoress, Councillor Keith and Mrs. Jennifer Chapman. Really pleased that you guys could be with us today, so welcome to you. How this time will work is as follows. We're going to have a few short speeches, one from David Robotham, our head teacher, one from the Mayor, and one from Maria Miller, after which I'll say a few words. Andy Taylor, our community pastor, will then pray, and then we're going to be going on tours around the site before refreshments are served down in the Salem Hill Centre. Those of us with badges are there for you to ask any questions of, so as we're touring or around the building or in the refreshment time, please do come and ask those of us with badges any questions you may have. The main daytime use of this building is to house our King's School, which has been running for the last 30 years and needed some extra capacity. And so the main daytime use in this building will be to house the King's School. And David Robotham, our head teacher, is going to kick us off with the first speech. So welcome, David.
First of all, can I extend on behalf of the school a welcome to everybody, particularly to our MP, Maria Miller, and to Councillor Keith and Mrs. Jenny Chapman, our Mayor and Mayoress, on behalf of the school. Some of the representatives of the students are here, and they'll perhaps have a word with you afterwards. I'm interested that Phil should mention asking questions. I mean, you can ask me and you'll get the official answer. Ask them and you'll get reality. I'd like to read something to you. The first is from the original school prospectus, dated June 1981. It says, a year or two ago, I began to realise, this is the writer saying this, that the parents in a Christian community were totally responsible for their children's education and that we had no mandate to delegate it. The leadership of Basingstoke Community Church came to believe that a community school which shares on the parents' behalf in the nurture of our children is as essentially an integral part of the church as all its other activities. And down 30 years, that truth has established itself as part of the DNA, not just of the school community, but of the church as a whole. And the first thing I want to commend to you, if you like, is the nature of this school as growing, serving, and being part of its community. It is funded by, it is served by, in the sense that all those who work in it are part of that church community, and so too are the children. I've worked in many schools. This is my fifth headship, and some of those have been called community schools. But I'll be honest with you, this is the first one which genuinely arises from and serves and is supported by its community. The second little extract I'd like to read is from the history of the school, which was produced for the 25th anniversary a little while ago now. And this is it. It was 8:30 a.m. on Monday the 7th of September 1981 when the doors opened to their first intake. Jonathan remembers the occasion well. I was the first pupil to walk through the door on the day the new school opened. I was 10 years old. And someone, somewhere, has a film of me in the Serham Hill car park, heading for the door, hotly pursued by my brother. My first memory of the school is how quiet it was after the big, noisy playground in Overton. This is a parent on that first day. The first day, I was there. My only clear memory is of a very smart headmaster dressed in a dark suit, neat collar and tie, and flip-flops. Apparently, he'd injured his foot on the beach that summer. I would like to just say two other things before I pass on. I've mentioned this notion of the school and the community it serves. The second thing I want to emphasise in terms of the nature of the school is the involvement of that community and of particularly the parents. It might interest you to know that the funding of the school comes from three sources. About 30% comes in a grant from the church. About 30% comes from the contributions that the parents make. But 40% of it comes from the value of the people who work in the school, either for very small amounts of money, or I have to say for no money at all. The involvement of the community and the parents is paramount to the school's survival and success. But the third thing I want to mention, and as my daughter was one of the first students in the second year of the school to come through those doors, God's provision over these 30 years has been remarkable. I know sometimes I wonder, why 30 years, why not 3? But that journey has been so important to the school in the way it's developed, in the way the year groups have extended, in the way the curriculum's developed, in the way the staff and staffing has developed, that provision is actually something much more than just money. And so I stand here, I believe, in a very privileged position to have been the head at the time that the building we've been looking for, honestly, Peter, I think for 30 years, I speak to my colleague over here who was the first head of the school, is 30 years in the waiting and the looking and the preparation and the building. And so to stand here today on the opening of this building is a real privilege. God's provision is fundamental to what we do. And I just want to say thank you to the community, to the God we serve, for the provision that's been made. And much of that provision is standing here today in the people who've done the design work, the building, the cleaning, the painting, and all the other things that go into turning an old, slightly decrepit office block, I hope, into a thriving and busy school. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.